Welcome to our next episode where we're talking this time about one of the most important keys to alchemy and transmutation. And that key is to count the cost.
Be careful what you ask for.
Be careful what you ask for. Count the cost before you begin the journey.
Yes.
Do you think most people count the cost before they begin the journey?
No. Not at all.
Why do you believe this is true?
Well, because people, normally we have this romanticized idea
No
of
way.
how we're going to achieve something or get something or whatever.
We often think we're going to go in a straight line.
Yeah.
But actually, we go in these way meandering
Then we
lines.
get smacked back to a few times.
That's right, get smacked back 10 feet and fall in holes and
Yes.
break our ankle and have to heal. The Christ, who was an alchemist, by the way, according to most scholars, said in Matthew 22:14, "Many are called, but few are chosen."
True.
You say that's true. Why is that true? What does that mean?
Well, because so few are willing to do the work.
That's
of
right.
what it takes to answer the call.
To answer the call. And we've had this conversation a lot. To be chosen, does that mean you're special?
No.
No.
We're all chosen.
We're all chosen. So who really has to be the one doing the choosing?
You do.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
God has chosen you.
Yeah.
Will you choose to choose yourself is the real question. So it's vitally important to count the cost before you begin the journey.
Mm-hmm.
You see, many people are, quote, called to live a life of higher purpose, higher principles, higher morals, higher values. But what soon becomes apparent is that while they might be curious, they're really not committed.
True.
Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to be curious, but commitment is a whole different thing. It's an inarguable fact that it's difficult to escape the matrix. We don't use that term that often. What we often call socialized mind, socialized programming. Some people in today's world even speak about escaping the matrix.
While
A lot.
being completely eluded in it.
But they turn around and talk about how they have 43 sports cars.
And yet they have escaped the matrix somehow.
Yes, and how much money they make, and they show their private
Those are all
plane.
contradictory to someone who has escaped the matrix.
Yeah, it certainly seems to me that they're sitting fully and completely under the spell of the matrix.
Yeah.
You see, the beasts of money, food, sex, and power are incredibly strong.
That's the matrix.
That's the matrix, and they're very difficult to overcome.
Yes.
Unless you're totally asleep, it's really easy to notice where these primary drivers, money, food, sex, and power, have driven this secular society. Are you awake? Are you paying attention? Where have these primary drivers driven this secular society? Well, look around. It's very difficult for those who pay attention and are aware to not draw correlations to history, the history of the rise and fall of past nations. It's kind of frightening, isn't it?
True.
What Rome and Greece were once great, greater than any. Persia was once greater than any. And now it's not the same.
Not so great.
Not so great. They fell because of their own corruption. So the first step to becoming a true alchemist, we've talked about this extensively. What does it mean to be an alchemist? It's the art and science of what?
Transmutation.
Transmutation. To not literally turn base metal into gold, rather take what appears to be chaotic and low value, a lot of what we're seeing in our world right now, and transmuting that into something orderly and highly valued. It's possibly transmuting the secular back into the sacred. It's to really decide a few things. Let us ask you a couple questions. Number one, are you happy with the state of your world and the world right now? Are you happy with it? If yes, then continue on. Continue on. If no, then consider this question. Are you truly willing to do what it takes to change your world first? Your world first.
True.
Right. And then possibly change
The world.
the world. You see, you can't change the world until you change your world first. Are you willing to do what it takes to make that happen? And count the cost before you begin the journey, because there's always a price for the prize. And the bigger the prize you're going after, the bigger the price you must pay. And I think we would strongly encourage you to consider changing your world, and even more so changing the world is a pretty big prize.
Oh, for sure.
So therefore, rest assured the price is going to be high. Question number 3. Are you willing to make transmuting your own world the primary thing? Or are you just being curious? I mean, be honest, because there's no value in lying to yourself.
True.
Once you've answered these questions thoroughly and honestly, you can begin the process. And the process is pretty simple, quite frankly. Number 1, decide what you want or what you choose to create. Number 2, decide what you're willing to give up to get it. And number 3, get on with the work. Yeah. Get on with the work. Hopefully this has been valuable for you today. Thank you for a couple moments, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
More to come. God bless.